Let's begin in a child's pose. Bring your toes together to touch, your knees apart as wide as on the mat, bringing your chest down to the mat, stretching your arms out in front of you, reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat, sinking your hips towards your heels, breathing in, breathing out. Belly button into your spine as you fill your lungs. And now let's push back to a downward facing dog. We'll lift our right leg to the sky, bending the knee and opening up the hip, maybe taking some hip circles one way and then the other perhaps. And now let's lift that left leg up, bending the knee, opening up the hip, taking hip circles on this side. Bringing that foot down. We take a breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Big breath in. Release, walking your feet to your hands, meeting in a forward fold, rising up extended mountain pose. Exhale as you reach down towards your toes. Taking a ragdoll, grabbing an opposite elbow to opposite hand, swaying side to side, maybe bring the hands to the nape of your neck, feeling that release, that stretch up the backs of the legs, maybe even up into the low back. Fingertips back towards the mat as we inhale to a flat back. Stepping out to our high plank, exhaling as you lower all the way down to your bellies, setting up for cobra. Our toes are together to touch, no weight in our hands as we lift our shoulders up off the mat. Inhale as you rise, exhale down. Inhale, a little more weight in the hands, exhale down. And now let's take it to an upward facing dog, big breath in, pushing back to our downward facing dog. We take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty, big breath in, release. Let's walk our feet to our hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, rising up to extended mountain pose, cactusing the arms, taking that back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, stepping back, high plank, lowering through chaturanga. Inhale to rise, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Filling up, empty. Biggest breath in, release. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Rising up on that inhale, extended mountain pose, taking that back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Jump back. Inhale to rise. Downward facing dog. And we fill up and we empty. Breath in, breath out. Big breath in. Release. Feet to your hands. Rising up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward, halfway lift. Jump back, chaturanga. Rising on the inhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Filling up, empty. Feet to your hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rising up to extended mountain pose, exhaling as you forward fold. Jumping back, exhaling all the way down, inhaling to rise, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Fill up, empty, biggest breath in. Toes to your hands, halfway lift, forward fold, sinking our hips into Utkatasana chair pose. Pelvis lifts, tailbone tucks, reaching up. No lonely thumbs, fingers tight together, sinking your hips, weight in the heels, we can lift those toes up off the mat, sitting down, sinking lower, breathing through this, inhaling and reaching, and exhale, maybe sitting a little lower, holding here, and fold forward, halfway lift, jump back, step back, move through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. That right leg rises and we bring it forward for warrior one. Getting those hips in line, right knee at a 90-degree bend, arms up overhead, working on that inner rotation of that left hip to get those hips in line. Breath in and breath out, breathing through this pose as you get deeper into it. Inhale, reach. Exhale to the back, moving through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Big breath in, big reach up. Working on getting the same pose integrity on this side, that 90-degree bend in the left knee, that left knee tracking over to the baby toe on the left side, that right foot at that 45-degree angle, reaching up. Inhaling, exhaling as you come all the way down through chaturanga, perhaps lifting the leg this time. Inhaling to rise, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale, big breath in, release. Let's take those feet to your hands, halfway lift, fold, moving through this sun B, one breath, one movement. Utkatasana, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Moving through your vinyasa, using the breath to move you through this pose as you push back to downward facing dog. Stepping forward for that right foot, warrior one. Pushing back, going through your vinyasa. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale on the rise. Exhale down to the mat through chaturanga, perhaps lifting that leg, perhaps taking a chaturanga push-up. Breath in, breath out. Fill up, empty. Biggest breath in, release. Feet to your hands, halfway lift, sinking into that Utkatasana. Now we're taking our prayer twist. We're going to move with this twist, taking that right elbow to the left knee, keeping the knees in line. Option to take it to that side crow here if you'd like. If you're going to stay in the twist, use the breath to twist deeper and deeper into this pose. Inhaling as you lengthen, exhaling to twist. Now let's all meet in that forward fold, taking those peace fingers to the big toes, pulling your head down towards your mat. Elbows bending back towards your shins, really pulling, feeling that stretch up the backs of the legs, maybe even to the lower back as you stretch and pull. Releasing those hands, coming in to our Utkatasana. This time left elbow, right knee, hands to heart center as we twist. Option again for side crow on this side. If you're remaining in the twist, using the breath to twist deeper and deeper into the pose. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist. Meeting in that forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Moving through your vinyasa. Right leg rises, that right foot steps forward. We're in warrior one. To the mat, chaturanga, move through your flow. Left leg rises, warrior one. Reach up, look up, exhale to the mat. Moving through your vinyasa to meet in downward facing dog, and we take a breath in. Lift that right leg up, bending the knee. Perhaps we're coming into our flip dog, grounding through the heels to lift up. Maybe we can take this to full wheel here if you're ready for it. Meeting back in our three-legged dog, we're going to take our right knee to our right elbow and fly into EPK2 if that's in your practice. Sending that right leg up to the sky, right knee to nose and kick it back. Right knee to left elbow, take that twist and kick it back. Right knee to left elbow, again, extend that right leg coming into that fallen star. Hands plant back to three-legged dog, coming out to our high plank, and we're going to plant our left hand opening up side plank. Many options here, lifting a leg, maybe taking tree legs. You can also take this down to a forearm or perhaps your knee. Pick your option, hold in that belly button to the spine, really thinking about that core lock, and now meet in your high plank, move through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Left leg is going to rise, bending the knee, opening up the hip, taking it to that three-legged dog, and then maybe that flip dog, maybe that full wheel here. Meeting back in our three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, flying into EPK2. Left leg rises. We'll take that left knee to the nose. Left knee to right elbow for that twist. Left knee to right elbow, extending that leg out, opening up to fallen star. Sending that left leg up. Coming out to our high plank, planting the right hand, opening up to side plank. Taking your option here, belly button into spine, core lock tight. Breathing. And bring it back, meeting in that high plank, and then lowering down on your exhale, inhaling back to downward facing dog. And we take our breaths in, breath out, inhale, exhale, filling up and empty. We take our feet to our hands, halfway lift, arms up overhead, extended mountain pose. Take that cactus arm back bend, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa. Right leg rises, bringing it forward, crescent lunge this time, up on the ball mount of our back foot, that left heel is high, arms up overhead, preparing for our next twist. Hands to heart center, taking that left elbow to the right knee, inhale, exhale, take the twist. Using the breath to open this up. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to peel that right shoulder open. Opening the chest, opening the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling, exhaling to twist. Keep that breath and then opening up warrior two. Reverse your warrior, send that hand to the sky, taking it down to extended side angle. Sending that left arm up overhead. Perhaps we want to take it half bind. Maybe we're ready for a full bind. And if it's in your practice, perhaps you'd like to try to pop up to bird of paradise. You're at home, no one's watching. Give it a shot, see what happens. Steady on that standing leg. Start to straighten out that right leg. Birdies come on down, meeting back in our extended side angle, and then taking it down, moving through your vinyasa. Maybe we're lifting a leg on that chaturanga, pushing back downward facing dog. Our left heel rises, bringing it forward, crescent lunge, arms up overhead, hands coming to heart center, taking right elbow to left knee this time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Using the breath to twist deeper. Working on getting those hands back to heart center, opening up so much that those hands move back to heart center, really twisting, really breathing, really using the breath. Rinsing out. Detoxing here, and then we open to warrior two. Reversing that warrior, we take it to extended side angle, reaching that right hand up. Maybe we're taking a half bind. Maybe we're ready for the full bind. Maybe you want to try for bird of paradise. Being mindful that sometimes we've got it on one side and maybe not the other. But that's okay. Meeting in that extended side angle. And then we're going to take this down, moving through our vinyasa. Pushing back to that downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Big breath in. Release. Let's walk our feet to our hands, but this time we're going to come into our Malasana Yogi squat. So we're walking our feet about as wide as the mat. Our toes are out, our heels are in. Coming down to that yogi squat, hands into heart center. Maybe we want to kind of flow through vinyasa here, feeling a nice twist as we inhale and twist. Or perhaps if it's in your practice, you'd like to come into your crow, your balasana. Planting our hands, bringing our knees as high up into our armpits as we can, leaning forward, lifting one leg, and then maybe the other. Testing that balance, and then holding core lock tight as we hold on to our crow. And if it's in your practice, kick those legs back, move through your vinyasa. Back to our malasana. Placing our hands on the mat, sitting our hips up towards the sky, toe heeling our feet back together, back to forward fold. Taking our gorilla pose, standing on the palms of our hands, bending our knees back towards our shins, pulling our head down to the mat. Feeling that stretch up the backs of the legs, perhaps into the low back as you pull, biceps bulging, pulling that head down towards the mat, breathing in and out through the nose. Releasing those hands, inhaling to a flat back, exhale, fold, rising up, extended mountain pose, bringing our hands to heart center. Setting up for our balance series. Beginning with our eagle pose, grounding into our left leg, bringing our right leg over, right arm under, working that right toe around, trying to get that toe wrapped around the calf, belly button into spine, tailbone tucks as your pelvis lifts, shoulder blades back and down, bringing our elbows up to shoulder height, breathing in, breathing out, using the breath to find stability and balance, and then we release. Opposite side, left leg over, left arm under, working on getting that toe wrapped around the calf, that compression helping us to stabilize, belly button in, hugging everything in, skin to muscle to bone, hugging in and sinking, breathing, and release, arms up overhead, Tadasana. Adding on to it this time, eagle right side, right leg over, right arm under, sinking into that standing leg, bringing elbows up to shoulder height, breathing in. On your next exhale, slowly bringing those elbows to your knees, unraveling that top leg, bound warrior 3, opening up the arms, Dekasana, airplane, opening up, balancing half moon, bringing it back to standing, Tadasana. Opposite side, left leg over, left arm under, inhaling, elbows up to shoulder height, sinking into that standing leg. On your next exhale, bringing those elbows to your knees. Unravel that top leg, bound warrior 3, opening up to airplane, opening up again, balancing half moon. Returning back to center, Tadasana. Working on our standing leg raise. Bring our left hand to our hip, our right knee rises, grabbing a hold of our right knee, hanging out right here if we want to build stability and balance. If we want a little more, we can open up that right knee, taking that left hand off the hip. If we want even more, grabbing a hold of our big toe with our peace fingers, extending our leg out and opening over to the right, gazing over to the left. Back to center and down. Opposite side. Right hand to our right hip, bringing that left knee up, grabbing a hold of the left knee and opening up if we feel comfortable today, gazing over, and maybe taking your variation today, grabbing a hold of that big toe, opening up, holding, building stability, building balance, releasing back to center. Dancer poses next. We're going to bring our right elbow into our right hip crease, flipping our palm up, bringing our right knee up, right hand inside of the right foot, left arm rises, and then we're going to start to kick, and we're kicking and working on the back bend first before we tilt forward, working on getting those toes above our head, balancing, and then starting to reach. Giving yourself or giving me a high five. Holding and releasing. Remembering to breathe through these balance poses. Left side. Left elbow, left hip crease. Bringing that left foot up. Breathing in. Hogging everything in. Reaching forward. Kicking back and reaching in equal amounts before we release down. Tree pose. Taking your variation today. Kickstanding here. We're building balance and stability. If you want a little extra, we can bring it up on the calf or up onto our thigh. Hands starting at heart center, pushing hand into hand for stability. Belly button into spine, tailbone tucks, shoulder blades back and down away from your ears. When we're ready, perhaps we take our hands somewhere new. Some options. Arms up to the sky. Maybe we take those palms, crossing our fingers and sending those palms up to the sky. Sending reverse prayer hands behind the nape of our neck. Taking those cow face arms. Or maybe reverse prayer hands at our low back. Taking your option and holding and breathing. And back to center, switching sides. Taking your tree today, being mindful that one side might be easier or different than the other. Picking your tree today. Hands into heart center. Perhaps playing with the balance, closing your eyes, taking your hands somewhere new when you're ready. Remembering to smile, remembering to breathe. Coming to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a flat back. Jump back chaturanga, Lowering on that exhale, inhaling to rise, upward facing dog, downward facing dog on that exhale. We bring that right foot forward immediately for our warrior one. Reach up, opening up to warrior two. Straightening that leg for triangle pose, reaching forward, tick-tocking those arms down. Slight bend in that knee joint, gazing up at the top thumb. Belly button in, chest opening, breathing, inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhaling, peeling that shoulder open, opening the chest, hugging every muscle in, all the muscles working to wrap around the bone and hold you up. Coming to our straddled forward fold, hands on our hips, belly button in, inhale, lift and lengthen, exhale, fold forward. Bringing those hands to the mat in line with your feet, top of the head to the mat. From here, you may be able to pop up into a tripod handstand. Think about spinning those thighs in towards each other to help with the strength and flexibility to get to that point. Breathing in, breathing out, enjoying the stretch, holding here, allowing the muscles to open up and stretch. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale it all out. Inhale as you rise, taking warrior two to the back of the room. Triangle pose, gazing up at that top thumb. Belly button in, opening the chest. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, peeling that shoulder open. Gentle bend in the knees, softness in the joints, muscles wrapping around the bone to hold you up. Releasing, coming back to our straddle forward fold, this time taking the hands at our sacrum, inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhale, folding forward, hands coming off our sacrum. One day, someday goals to get the top of the head to the mat as well as the hands falling onto the mat behind you. Until then, enjoy the shoulder stretch and breathe. Inhale as you rise, keeping the bind. We'll take warrior one feet with the right foot forward. Inhale up, exhale, humble your warrior. Hands down, setting up for our lizard pose, bringing our left knee down, coming down to your forearms, opening up the hip in lizard, holding this hip opener for several breaths, allowing the release to happen. Inhale as you rise, pushing back to downward facing dog. Coming through your vinyasa, meeting in your downward facing dog. Left leg rises, arms up overhead for that warrior one. Hands clasp at your sacrum. Inhale, proud chest. Exhale, fold forward. Humbling your warrior. Hands to the mat, right knee down, setting up for your lizard. Slowly coming down to your forearms. Releasing. Rising up. Sitting that left leg high, downward facing dog, moving through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog, and we breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Biggest breath in, release. Coming out to your high plank, lowering all the way down to your bellies. Setting up for locust. Bringing our toes together to touch. On your next inhale, lifting everything up off the mat. Shoulders, arms, hands, feet, shins, knees, thighs, belly button into spine as you hug everything in towards the midline and then release, resting your left cheek on the mat. Locust number 2, on your next inhale, lift up, rising up, thighs spinning in towards each other, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the muscles, and then release, resting your right cheek on the mat. Reaching back, grabbing a hold of your feet, setting up for floor bow. On your next inhale, lifting up into this beautiful teardrop shape, coming into the soft part of your bellies, lifting those feet higher, and releasing down. Taking a breath in, breath out. Floor bow number 2. This time, power bow, reaching back, grabbing a hold of your ankles. On your inhale, lifting up, coming back onto your thighs, really lifting through the chest, and release. Windshield wiper your feet back and forth, releasing your low back. When you're ready, rolling onto your back, setting up for bridge and/or wheel pose. Starting with bridge, heels in towards your glutes, feet about hips width distance, grounding down through your heels, lifting your hips, clasping your fingers underneath you, coming up on top of your shoulders, lifting higher, higher than you think you can, and then releasing on an exhale. If full wheel is in your practice, come into that next. Otherwise, continue with bridge, whatever you feel comfortable with. Grounding down to rise up no matter what. Enjoying this back bend. And release. Taking a cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. Preparing for your next. Grounding down, lift up, rise. And release. Breath in, breath out. Last one. Bridge or wheel, make it your best one. Ground down to rise up, lifting up higher than you think you can. Hugging everything in towards the center line as you lift and release. Hugging your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Taking a Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Gently closing your eyes for a moment and taking a breath. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock and roll the length of your spine. After 3 or 4 rocks, we will pause in a boat pose. Options in boat are many. You could put 1 foot down, 2 feet down. You could lift them or keep them at this level. Then we're going to lower into low boat and then high boat. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you extend. Rolling onto your back, rising up, coming onto our knees, setting up for camel. Another back bend here. Popping our toes, reaching our arms back, placing them on our low back, belly button in, pushing forward as we look back, go back, gazing back. If you can see the wall behind you, you're reaching down and grabbing hold of your heels. Thumbs on the inside of your heels, pushing open to feel that openness in the chest. Breathing here, 3 or 4 breaths here, big long breaths. And then slowly rise, sinking down onto your heels, hands on your knees, close your eyes, and take a breath. Allowing whatever stress and anxiety is whirling and swirling out of you out of you. Camel does that. Setting up for camel number 2. Arms behind you, hands on your low back. Inhale, looking back, going back, pushing back. Hips forward, arching back, gazing back, breathing. And release. Hips down towards your heels, hands on your knees, gently closing your eyes, taking a few breaths here to reset. We've gone one way with our spine, and now we're going to go the other way. So we'll scooch our heels outside of our hips if needed, taking our C grip, cupping our heels. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale, rolling forward, top of your head to the mat, forehead towards your knees, hips coming up off the heels like you're going to do a forward somersault, but you're not going to because your hands are gripping onto your heels so tightly. Releasing out of this. Planting our hands, push back to your downward facing dog. Our right heel rises, we'll bend our knee and open up our hip before bringing this right leg forward for resting half pigeon. Our right shin parallel to the short side of our mat, sinking our hips down, slowly lowering down, resting our head on the mat. Releasing into this hip opener. Resting half pigeon can bring up a lot of things. Hip openers can bring up a lot of things. Let those things go. There's nothing to do now but release and relax. So take this moment, take this time. Be thankful for the work you've done so far, and let go of anything that is still plaguing you. Anything that feels uncomfortable. All there is left to do is breathe right now in this moment. Slowly start to rise. Maybe you can reach back, grabbing a hold of that foot, coming into mermaid. Before we release, planting our hands, lifting up, pushing back to downward facing dog, opening up that hip, bringing the right foot down. Left foot rises, bringing it forward, resting half pigeon on the left. Flexing that foot, the left foot, to protect the knee. Inhaling to lift the chest, exhaling as you fold forward and release. These hip openers are held for quite some time. It allows for the muscles to release and relax, also allowing for the mind to let go. option for mermaid on this side. Pushing back to downward facing dog. Left heel rises, opening up that hip. And then bringing the left foot down to meet the right, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Filling up, jumping forward. Rolling onto your backs. Taking time for an inversion of your choice. Taking that waterfall pose, or perhaps coming into shoulder stand. Legs up, hands supporting your low back and shoulder stand. Maybe we try lotus legs for a fun variation. Maybe we bring those feet back behind us for plow. Deaf man's pose is an option where you bring your knees close to your ears. And then, just for fun, perhaps we take a unicorn pose, bringing the knee to our forehead, back to shoulder stand, and then rolling out on our backs. Setting up for fish pose, counter pose to most inversions. Coming up on our forearms, gazing back, and we'll take a lion's breath. Inhaling, sticking out your tongue, and breathing out. Lion's breath, number 2. And lion's breath, number 3. Final stretching. Seated forward fold. Arms up overhead. Identify your peace fingers. Grabbing a hold of your toes. Pulling your head down towards your toes, keeping a flat back as best as you can. Feeling that stretch up the legs all the way up through the back. Pulling those toes towards your forehead, pulling your eyebrows towards your forehead, and then perhaps folding forward, rounding down. Inhale as you release. Janu Sirsasana, bringing that right foot or left foot into your right thigh. Basket grip over those toes, bringing your forehead to your knee. Doing what's possible to bring your forehead to your knee. If that means bending your knee, then do that. That's the most important thing. That will bring the flexibility eventually that you may want from this pose. But the most important thing is forehead to knee. Inhale as you rise, switching sides. Right foot into left. Basket grip around those toes, bringing your forehead to knee as you exhale, folding forward. Breathing through this pose. Stretching, releasing. Inhaling as you rise up. Taking our fire log pose, reaching forward, making sure we've stacked shin over shin, knee over ankle, ankle over knee, and we're reaching those fingertips forward, feeling that stretch. Rising up, arms overhead, clasping your fingers, release your pointer fingers and twist or lean to the right. Inhale, exhale, over to the left. Arms up overhead. And let's take a twist, bringing that right hand to the left knee, gazing over the left shoulder. And release. Switching sides. Switching feet. Bringing that right foot on top of the left, arms up overhead, walking those fingertips out in this fire log pose, feeling that stretch up the back of the hip. Working out those shoulders, perhaps rolling out the shoulders. And then rising up on that inhale, arms up overhead, clasping the fingers over to the right. Inhale up and over to the left. And we'll take that twist on this side. That left hand to the right knee as we gaze over the right shoulder. Inhaling as you lengthen, exhaling, twisting deeper, using the breath to twist deeper and deeper into this pose. Releasing. Rolling out onto your backs, lowering slowly one vertebra at a time. Let's lift our right heel to the sky. Perhaps we are grabbing a hold of our big toe. If that's not accessible, we can grab a hold at the thigh or the calf. Whatever feels good to feel this stretch. Then we're going to bring our right knee into our chest. We let the right foot go long and loose, the left foot over. Bringing the right knee across the body for that twist. Right knee back in, hugging that in. And let's send that left leg high up and long. Gripping a hold of those toes, perhaps maybe grabbing the thigh or the calf, wherever is comfortable for you to feel that stretch before we bend the knee. Bring it into our armpit, up and around the rib cage. That left foot is relaxed, right foot is flexed, hugging the knee in, and then bringing the knee across the body, gazing over to the left. Working on getting the shoulders, both shoulders down to the ground, working on getting the knee down to the ground. Those are one day, someday goals perhaps. Just enjoy this stretch. Bringing that knee back to center. Taking a moment for a happy laughing baby. Noticing any difference in the hips here than maybe you felt at the beginning of class. Maybe we're taking that ninja baby. Before we hug our knees in, tight, rolling into a tight little ball, hugging everything in, tensing up all the muscles, squinching up the face, and then releasing on an exhale. Final resting pose, Shavasana. This is your moment and your time to take what you need here. This is the most important pose in yoga, one of the hardest. It's easy to want to get up and run and go back to all the chores and things that you feel like you need to do right now. But wait, breathe, take a moment, enjoy this. You have nothing else to do but breathe. Namaste.